Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be learning about the identification of different carpal bones. Now the carpal bones are total 8 in number, and the carpal bones help to form the complex known as the wrist. In fancy anatomical terminology, the wrist is also called the carpus. So the carpal bones can be divided into two rows. We have a proximal row and we have a distal row. The proximal row of carpal bones, if we just enumerate them in a lateral to medial sequence. So first of all we have the scaphoid, then we have the lunate, then you have the triquetral, and fused with the triquetral is the pisiform bone. Then we have in the distal row in a lateral to medial sequence we have the trapezium, we have the trapezoid right here, we have the capitate, which is the largest of all carpal bones, and we have the hamate. The hamate is easiest to identify because it has the hook. So if you want to identify the individual carpal bones, we need to consider some of their ID points. So to make it really easy, we'll first start with the proximal row, and we'll start with the lateral most bone of the proximal row. So first of all we have the scaphoid. The scaphoid is a boat shaped bone. It has this concavity and it also possesses a tubercle that projects laterally. So these are the identification point of scaphoid, and it can be easily identified because of its boat-like appearance. Then we have the lunate. The lunate is really easy to identify because the lunate possesses a distal articular surface which is crescentric in shape. It's like a moon shaped, and the proximal aspect of the lunate is quite short. So it is smooth all around, but in its articular surface, which articulates with the capitate, it's lunate. It's lunar. I'd like to think of it as lunar or crescentric in shape. Moving on to the triquetral, which lies medial to the lunate. The triquetral is from the word triquetral, we can remember that the triquetral is a pyramid shaped bone. It has a base and it has an apex. The base of the triquetral is triangular. Obviously it is triangular in cross section, and this is the apex of the triquetrum. Fused to the triquetral we have the pisiform bone. Right here, this is the pisiform bone. The pisiform bone really doesn't have any prominent ID points. However, the pisiform bone is P-like and kind of looks like a compressed P. So this is how you identify the pisiform bone. And pisiform bone in the anatomical position it lies like this, and it lies anterior to the triquetral bone. Moving on to the distal row of the carpus, we have the lateral most bone of the distal row, which is the trapezium. The trapezium should not be confused with the trapezoid, which lies medial to it. The trapezium is really irregular bone, and it is larger than the trapezoid. The trapezium possesses a vertical groove. Vertical groove is located on the palmar surface of the trapezium and helps to channel the tendon of flexor carpi radialis. The distal articular surface of the trapezium is concavo-convex in shape, as you can see right here. It is also called a sellar articular surface. This is the trapezium. The trapezoid lies medial to the trapezium, and it's kind of like boot shaped. It's like a baby's boot, a baby's shoe. I like to think of it as a baby's shoe. So the trapezoid is quite small. It lies medial to the trapezium and it's shoe-like in shape. Then we have the capitate. The capitate is largest bone of the wrist. The capitate, I'd like to think of it as looking like the face of a cat. And the capitate also has a tubercle right here. And this is the capitate. Capitate is the largest bone as compared to all of the bones of the carpus, and it looks like a cat. Then we have the hamate. The hamate is by far the most easiest bone to identify in the carpus, because hamate has a characteristic projection. This is called the hamulus, or the hook of hamate. So these were all of the carpal bones and their identification. Hope this video was helpful. If you want me to do the size determination of all of the carpal bones, then leave a comment and we'll make further video on the carpal bones. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please share with your friends, like, subscribe, and yeah, stay blessed and happy, and see you next time.